couldn't think of anything witty or clever to start the video. It's time to go back to the past. But not to play the shitty games that suck ass. That's not my thing. No, today I want to share with you the first game I ever played, Link's Awakening. That's right, this was my gateway game into what has become my #1 hobby, and I'd like to share it with you. Link's Awakening is a beloved Nintendo classic, so I don't know what I could add to it that hasn't already been said. I just wanted to share the first game that got it all started for me with you. I would like to briefly point out that I'm using the Link's Awakening DX cart for the game recording so that everything's in full color. Link's Awakening is the 4th entry in the Legend of Zelda franchise and the first handheld title of the series. Originally released in 1993, Link's Awakening began as a port of A Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo Zelda title. It began as a side project after hours by Nintendo staff. Eventually, it became its own original project under the direction of Takashi Tezuka. Hope I pronounced that right. Link's Awakening takes place after the Oracle games. He decides to travel overseas in order to further his training for future threats. And this is where our adventure begins. A storm destroys our boat, and we wash ashore on Koholint Island. We wake up in the home of Talon and Marin. They tell us that Marin found us on the beach and brought us to our home where we've been tossing and turning in our sleep. Malin then gives us back our shield. Which kinda looks like a lopped off toe, doesn't it? That's the toe. Someone painted the toenail for what... Anyway, so after doing a little exploring, we find our sword. As we're about to take up our arm again, we are met with an owl who explains that the monsters are becoming restless because there is a boy who has come to wake the windfish. Yeah, try going to a crowded place and start swinging a sword around. I can guarantee people are going to become a little restless, at the very least. If we want to leave the island, we must wake the windfish. It dreams at the top of Mount Tamaranch and can only be awakened by the 8 mystical instruments of the sirens. So there we go. We have our setting and our objective. But spoiler alert, it's all a dream. God, such a cop-out twist. Well, okay, to be fair, this use of the dream trope is actually done quite well. The game acknowledges it about halfway through, and the monsters are visibly worried that if Link succeeds, everything will disappear. It creates this odd sensation of, if I succeed, will I disappear too? So it expands beyond the cliche, it was all a dream. For those people who have never played a Zelda game before, what the hell are you doing with your lives? Okay, no, seriously though. You run around, you whack things with a sword, collect mysterious items, you solve puzzles, and you have an adventure. It's fun. Simple as that. Not really a whole lot more to say about the gameplay, really. While the game uses the classic top-down view, the game found some inspiration from Zelda 2 on the NES with some side-scrolling segments used for basement or underwater level movement. And yes, those are Goombas. Like Super Mario Goombas. Okay, you know what? Let's just get this out of the way. Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Peach, Chain Chomp, Shy Guys, Kirby, Darude Sandstorm, Dead Guys hanging from the way. Whoa, what the holy hell is this? Jesus, that's some dark-ass shit right there. So what did Link's Awakening add to the series? Well, a lot, really. Something you'll notice quickly are the Piece of Power or the Guardian Acorn drops. Guardian Acorns reduce damage you take by half, and Pieces of Power increase your sword damage, your knockback, your running speed, and your lift speed. Nuts and pizza. And during my playthrough, Jesus, they dropped so many times. I mean, geez, do you think they give us enough of them? Another one? No, screw it, I don't want it.
How many more of these things do we have? Oh, damn it! Shit!
Sure, they seem like they spawn a lot, but it's all player controlled. Killing 12 enemies without taking damage will always drop a Guardian Acorn, and killing 30 common enemies will always drop a Piece of Power. Monsters that drop a Guardian Acorn or Piece of Power will not count in your streak. There's one main shop found in Mabe Village where you can buy items, like bombs, or a shovel. The shovel's 200 rupees. Why is it so expensive? Is this shit made out of solid gold? 200 rupees? Fine. Here. So let's see what's next. It's the bow. For 980 rupees? Yeah, no, I don't have that kind of cash. So let's just go ahead and acquire the bow. One of the mechanics they programmed into the game was a way to steal items from the store. You carry the item you want around the corner, then bolt out the door. The game reprimands you for it, asking if you feel good about yourself. Well, yeah, I do. Don't judge me, game! The only downside to this is that it permanently changes your name to Thief. Everyone and everything will call you Thief for the rest of the game, and if you try to go back into the shop, you will be met with a grisly fate. The shop owner tells you that he was serious about you paying, and now you will pay the ultimate price.
What are you gonna do, call the cops?
Oh no, he uses the Kamehameha wave. You can continue to shop there, but every time you steal, he will kill you. And you know, speaking of killing, it's fun to just slash your sword like crazy while a boss is exploding, right? Same thing with the chicken, or the cuckoo, or whatever. This is really tense, right? Like, what the hell am I thinking, right? Well, don't worry, no angry cuckoo hordes in this game. Going back to the boss real quick though, they really improved the boss and mini-boss music. The boss encounter music in Link to the Past was annoying at best. Now, feel free to throw some death threats my way, but listen to this. It loops after a couple of seconds with an obnoxious beat, but compared to Link's Awakening. High energy, gets the blood pumping, has a nice brief moment before the loop comes in. Though the mini-boss music wasn't quite as refined, it still leaps and bounds above Link to the Past. And hey, speaking of musical personality, Link's Awakening added unique dungeon themes to each of its labyrinths. Gone is the generic dungeon theme whatever bullshit. And to top it off, each of the tracks in the soundtrack is memorable, atmospheric, and appropriate for their settings. My personal favorite was level 6, Face Shrine. Holy shit, there's a face in the shrine! Bombing the shit out of the face gives us a coral triangle, which has the worst celebratory theme ever in this game. That's right, I mentioned before, but instead of collecting crystals or pieces of the Triforce, our goal is to get the 8 instruments of the Sirens. And I mean, even to this day, I still think those are the coolest quest collectibles in a Zelda game. Even more so than the masks in Majora's Mask, which is the best game of all time, no question, no arguing. It's solid, that's it. Majora's Mask is the best game ever. I mean, they're legendary items. They aren't just Crystal 1, Crystal 2, so on and so forth. Even Ocarina of Time started with interesting quest collectibles, with the spiritual stones. Then they decided to play it safe by making the medallions representing each dungeon. Snore! I know it's silly to pick something like this apart, but it shows effort, and the effort put into creating something interesting to strive for is highly appreciated. Keeping the musical theme going, this game has an ocarina. Sure, so did Link to the Past, but this game introduced the use of multiple songs. Ballad of the Windfish is required to open the egg at the top of Mount Tamaranch. Mambo's Mambo warps you to Crazy Tracy's shop, or sometimes makes Link thinks he's Jesus Christ. And Frog Song brings life to dead things, like Turtle Rock, or the rooster. Look at him, he's just like, nah. Oh, look, a Yoshi toy. Cool. Oh, this mother would like the toy for her baby. Sure, whatever. And she gave me a bow. This little bratty Bow Wow wants it. I'll put it on you since, you know, you don't have hands. She gives us dog food. Oh, no. Wait a minute. I know what's going on here. That's right. We're doing a trade quest. Link's Awakening was the first Zelda game to implement the dreaded trade quest. This one, though, is mandatory, unlike the ones from future titles. Dog food goes to the croc by the beach, who eats it, can and all. He gives us bananas. We monkey around for a little bit before giving the bananas to a monkey. Monkey leaves a stick behind. We give the stick to Mario, who beats on a beehive, because, you know, he's smart as shit. We take the beehive and give it to the bear, who gives us a pineapple. We give the pineapple to the guy trapped in the mountains, who destroys it with his face. You take his hibiscus and give it to the goat lady, who asks you to take a letter to her pen pal. Great! Give the letter to Mr. Right, who shows us a picture of the goat lady. Wait, no, that's Princess Peach. Oh shit. Oh, she's catfishing you, dog. Whatever, take his broom, give it to Grandma, who gives you a hook. Give the hook to the fisherman, he catches a pearl necklace, which you give to the mermaid. She lets you dive underwater and take a scale. Mind the hands, don't get too grabby. Put the scale into the statue and receive a magnifying glass. Yeah, sure, seems like a silly payoff, but you need this in order to read a book back at the library which tells you how to get through the windfish's egg. Don't look at me. I don't make the rules. After you get the magnifying glass, you can go to a cave at the beach and trade whatever item you have in your B item for a boomerang. Just give him the shovel. You don't really need it anymore. And hey, if you do this before level 7, I can show you a neat trick that I only just recently learned. By the way, the boomerang is the most overpowered item in the game. Seriously, forget your sharp swords, forget your arrows, your bombs, fire rods, whatever. The boomerang is so strong that it absolutely fucks up the final boss of the game. Just one whack with the rang and he's toast. And if you've been exploring the world outside of the main quest, you'll likely have found many mysterious things. If you shell out 20 of these mysterious, shells, you can get the magical sword. Kinda seems odd, right? Island's most powerful sword in exchange for shells? I mean, just go to the beach. Spend a day at the beach and you can probably find way more than 20 shells. I don't know, it never made much sense to me. Before we jump on to the next section, I thought I'd hop over to Tail Cave and leap into the topic of jumping. I don't mean ledge jumping, I don't mean straight falling, nah, jumping. Just jumping. This game introduced the Roc's Feather, which allowed players to jump around an overhead view environment. I didn't forget about Zelda 2, I know there was jumping there, I'm just saying. And sure, jumping seems like a simple control in a video game, but in a Zelda game, it changes a lot about how the game feels. It affects what kind of puzzles you'll be presented with. It lets you Mario jump on a Goomba's head and get a heart back. It reinforces Zelda 2's decision to have side-scrolling elements and implements them in ways that Zelda 2 could only dream of. Link's Awakening is well built and well designed. However, there are a few glitches or exploits or whatever you want to call them. There's a few of those lying around and you can find them. The first one I ever found was with the mini-boss in Slime Cavern. If you kill one and leave the screen and then go back, both are dead and the game counts it as a win for you. You monster! How could you kill my only friend? I can't go on! Easy way to get a move on. I'm sure I wasn't the first to find out about it, but it was the first one I found without any outside assistance or influence. And don't worry about the monsters. They come back in Turtle Rock. Just for me to bomb them again! So check it out. You go upstairs in level 7, and hey, there's a chest. But it's trapped with all these blocks, and there's a bubble switch over there. Well, if you just angle it just right and throw the boomerang, there you go. Mirror Shield's yours. Easy peasy. You skipped most of the dungeon. Once you get the bow, if you equip it with bombs in your other hand and you press both buttons at the same time, you'll shoot a bomb arrow. This is the first instance of bomb arrows in Zelda. They would later be added into your arsenal in Twilight Princess. Now, this looks like it's a glitch, because the arrowhead disappears, and nowhere in the game does it suggest you try this. Easy to see why so many would assume it's a glitch. However, the developers have never confirmed or denied it. I think it's a glitch. Hell, you can do a little skipping around right in the beginning of the game. See, one of the first things the game wants you to do after getting your sword is to get magic powder. The game wants you to go into the forest, find the fragrant mushroom, and bring it all the way to the witch's hut, where she mixes it up and creates the powder for you. Or, you could collect 10 rupees and go play the trendy game in town and win the magic powder. If you bring the crane here, then quickly tap the A button after whatever item you want is here, you'll get it every time. So there you go. Easy. You have to go there to get the Yoshi doll to start the trade quest anyway, and these are 30 rupees. Get it? Running around Angler's Tunnel, have the boss key, and just want to get to it? Whoop! There you go, you can just hop right over. I even finished Catfish's Maw early. I don't know how I did or what I did to do it. I just ignored the mid-boss and went straight to the boss of the dungeon. I don't know. Ready to fight the turtle to get into Turtle Rock? Play the song right next to his big dumb head, and when he starts to emerge from the wall, just run in. Odd time to become a pacifist, but screw it. We don't have time for these weak-ass world mini-bosses. There are plenty of other speedrunning strats and glitches out there. I just couldn't get them all to work, but they're definitely fun to play around with. Okay, here we go. What didn't I like about Link's Awakening? Honestly, I don't know, guys. Not much. I mean, critically, the blocks that required various items to overcome them were annoying. Not in a gameplay sense, but in a every time you fucking touch them, even if you have the item equipped, the game decides to force you to sit there and read the text. Every single time. The game itself may be just a little too easy. Increasing the difficulty just a touch and reducing how many pieces of power or guardian acorns you get may be a good start. Link's Awakening is a solid game overall. Not too serious, but interesting and immersive enough that it's no wonder why there's such a huge fan base behind it. There's even a guy dedicating himself to remaking Link's Awakening using Ocarina of Time's engine. The majority of the assets found in the game are self-made, in an effort to use as little from the source material as possible. This is Ty Anderson's Ura Zelda, Link's Awakening 64. Right now, it exists online solely in screenshots and a couple of video clips. I believe there were a few more at one point, and you can probably find other videos online about the project. As Nintendo is incredibly protective of their IPs and have a reputation for taking down fan projects relentlessly, Pokemon Prism being the most recent cease and desist, it should come as no surprise that Ty Anderson took this project off of public forums such as YouTube and Facebook. But before he did, he mentioned that he would continue development on this project, simply for the love of the game. Final critique? 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. Owls. Needs more owls. Yeah, owls are cool. Owls are my favorite bird. The game's just a little bit too easy, and the frequency of the power-ups that drop don't really help that. Now, as I said before, the game introduced a lot. The unique dungeon music. I need to look back at my script because I forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, unique dungeon themes, the crazy trading sequence, a solid story if you can look past the whole "it's a dream" thing. To be fair though, the whole "it's a dream" cliche trope wasn't as prevalent back then as it is now, so just overlook the whole "it's a dream" thing and you'll be just fine. Now, like I said, I don't know what else I could have added to this game that hasn't already been said. I just wanted to share the first game that I ever played with you guys. I don't know, I thought it was an appropriate way to start off the new year. I hope you guys are having a good January so far. You know what? I think I want to keep the dream thing going next time. What game's next on our list? I don't know. I think I need to sleep on it. Let me get back to you on that.
I got it. I got it.
I just want to give you guys a big thank you for watching my video. If you guys liked it, hit the like button. And if you guys are new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. Got friends or family that like video games? Share the video. It helps the channel grow. The viewer comment question this time is, what was your first video game? Do you still enjoy it to this day? Let me know in the comment section below. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Stay awesome.